Welcome everybody to the Across the Pond podcast. It's your boy Woo, along with my man Sly the Robe and Viva Red the Legend. We're back for another episode. It's 23rd, 4 p.m. if you're on it. Well, 4 p.m. if you're on the East Coast. I'm frozen. And 8:15 a.m. if you're on the Pacific. So appreciate you guys for coming in. We got some pretty dope topics over here. You feel me? We're gonna talk about the process, loving the process, and what the process is. We're gonna talk about binge culture and what it was like to watch TV back when we were younger and watching TV now in our era. And then we're also gonna talk about, if we have time, what the fuck was that topic?
Copying and emulation.
Oh yeah, the idea of copying versus emulation, because I feel like that's a topic we need to talk about because people don't understand the nuance between the two. So what's up, y'all? What's up? Hey, before we start anything, shout out to my man Viva Red. Shout out to my man Slyvesterz, the goats. I love them to death. They do a lot of shit behind the scenes that I don't know how to do. Big shout out to them, 100%. Shout out to everybody who's in the chat early. Lynn P. Was that Sis Toe? how to pronounce that? Is that
Call him
Nikolai?
Happy Lions. Call him. His name
Happy
used to be
Lions.
Happy Lions.
Shout out Happy Lion, shout out Lay Squid. Love you guys 100%. And before we get into anything, Sly's random question.
Oh, he's muted. Can't hear nothing. Don't want to hear you anyway.
Damn.
There he is.
That was the question. To see if you would say, okay, if you could go to university for free and learn any subject, whether you've been already, whether you haven't, what subject you pick?
Anthropology.
Could you explain to the audience what the hell that is?
I think it's like the study of people, right?
This man's don't even know.
Yeah, it's like study of society and like past societies and future, and then like the society we live in. It's just, I mean, I never thought about the definition, but I know it's about like the study of like basically why we are the way we are, like as far kind of like Sapiens.
Nearly finished that book. Why would you pick?
Why did I pick anthropology? I just love seeing like how people like, because okay, so a lot of people are the way they are, not entirely based on individuality, but a lot of it's based on their environment and who they learn from. And then from there it divvies onto its own, like it becomes its own sometimes, but for the most part, a lot you can meet like 5 people of someone's family and get an idea how their whole family act. I think that's fucking dope.
Nah, one of the parts I read in the book recently, this was like today or yesterday, about how like we've transitioned where local communities and family was like the most important, but now the state and the government have basically become that sort of presence. So before, if you commit a crime, the family would decide how much tax you're paying to the king or the government or whatever. If you had a problem, say you killed someone from another family, they would get revenge. And most matters were internal. They're all about the family. But now, as it slowly come on with the promotion of individualism, the state has now taken over that. So before, it was a family job to educate you. If you wanted a loan from the family, protection, family. But now, the state has all of that. So you got your government, you got your schools. If you don't send your child to school, you're gonna get, well, in here you go to prison. In UK, you got the police force to protect you. Any family matters are really and truly dealt with in a courtroom by people you've never heard of. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. How about you, Ryan?
Wait.
I had a question actually just before then. Have we got the stream beats playing for the stream?
Yeah.
Music.
Is it playing?
I don't know.
Yeah.
How low is it?
Fairly low.
Because I can't hear it.
We don't hear it at all on our side.
You'll have to tell me. I can't monitor it.
No, we can't hear. We can't hear it at all. I turned it up on max on my side. There's no music, evenly twisted. But now you hear it. We can hear it.
Okay, yeah, now you can hear it. Yeah, I can
Yeah,
hear
it was just really low.
it. Okay, cool. That's awesome. What would I learn? See, like, part of me is like, I would learn media. And I know that that's like the most basic. So in the UK, if you did media, and I don't mean to diss on anyone who did, but like that was the fucking like piss easiest thing to do. And like people did it more as like oh, I don't know what to do, I'm gonna do media. Yeah.
You
But
know, I
like,
done that in A level, but like an E. I didn't give a shit.
see, that's the thing, right? But I think like if they were able to teach me about like editing and stuff, or like that kind of thing, then I'd find that interesting. Like a film and photography one, I would take that. That'd be sick.
Film and photography.
what
Is that
we
because
do?
of your new like all the streaming and
I
content
just
creation?
like all of that shit. Yeah, it's fun. Like that stuff's fun, and like being creative like that. And if it meant that I could go into a different industry, because obviously I was in investment banking. If it meant that I could now go into a different industry and do like photography, like because when I look at like photography accounts on Instagram, obviously like they've grafted and blah 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 blah. They're really good at it. But when I look at that, I'm like, that shit's interesting. So like Michael, for example, our friend who did all of the artwork for my channel, I think he should have done film and photography. He would have been sick at that. So then I'm sitting there and I'm like, I should have done that. That would have been lit. Because I love doing photography. I like all of that shit. I think it's really, really cool. And it'd be more up my street than what I did business. It'd be way more up my street than that.
One thing I would do as well as photography, but not like digital. I want to do like original, like the art of like taking
Yeah.
a picture and developing. I think that's
Yeah.
always something. That's why I used to have a red light always in the background when I'm chilling in my room, because I always like that idea of like I just feel like that concept of developing because I'm fucking corny as fuck.
Yeah, but that's
Of
really
like,
cool.
so I'm like I would have like if I'm working on something, I would have all the lights red, like I'm developing some shit. That shit used to be so fun.
But I think that's
Or
cool.
Powerpuff Girls.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
Would
Like just as
you-
like an idea.
Brian, would you trade in your business degree for something film? Would you trade it in?
Oh, 100%. My business degree is fucking useless. Bro, like when I like put it to you, the difference would be the jobs not even the jobs I've had. The job I've had would be the difference. So I could have still worked at my previous job when I was at uni and stuff. It's just the investment banking one that would have been different. And I don't mind if that was different. It taught me a lot and everything like that. And I am where I am, blah, blah, blah. Super grateful for that shit. But like, in terms of going to uni and doing another degree, that'd be fucking sick, I think. Think about all the creatives you'd meet as well. And like, just like bouncing ideas off each other and stuff. That's lit.
I think that's the thing is that having the, I would, like as much as I would love to do anthropology because that would just be a personal thing. As far as like a networking thing and having a springboard of people to talk to, I would for sure do something like multimedia management or something along the lines of like social media and the future of like the world, I guess you could say, because a lot of those motherfuckers are smart as hell and like some of the concept they like obviously the concept that we understand we can bounce around each other. So imagine us times like 30.
Yeah. And like having that, and then kind of like going, oh, okay, today, just thinking of something off the top of your head and having a creative who's also in the same mindset as you. Because like it's very different. Like the three of us are in very different places. We all have very different backgrounds, etc., and we all get along and stuff. Can you imagine if like the three of us were in a classroom setting and like given tools and time to like kind of do what you wanted with it? That'd be fucking lit. And not everyone's as fortunate as that to be in that space, but I think that's really cool. If you can take advantage of it and you're passionate for it, that'd be great.
Exactly.
Before we go to Sly, Happy Lines, CZZTO, has said, I do photography at GCSE. They brought it in a few years ago. So GCSE is like high school. And yeah, how do you find it? Is it any good?
School pictures.
Before even that,
Yeah,
what happened to the name change? What happened to the Happy Lions?
I feel like it was too soft, man.
Soft.
You need to get back to us, Happy Lions. We want answers to both those questions.
He said, I don't know.
What about you, Dans?
Probably computer science. I can't even lie. Like, ideally, I would want to do something that I feel I couldn't learn by myself at home, and computer science kind of counteracts that. But where I'm at now with trying to learn like my web development and coding, like to code and program, I want to be able to do that. Like, so if I could learn that computer science at uni, that's the thing I would pick from, because I feel it's not a niche in a sense where you can use your creativity to make anything really. So there's been, for example, a teacher who wanted to make his organization and planning a little better, so he made some software to help him. And next you know, a bag of other teachers like, yo, bring me. Next you know, he's earning money every year, innit? Like, he sold it. So that's a teacher of doing it, making a program for teaching and organizational. Whereas if you have coding, you can do program for music, you can do a program for art, you can do a program for blogging, you can do a program for whatever you want, really and truly. So that's why I like coding in general. Like, you can, even though it's a specific skill, you can use your creativity and basically create anything you want. It's the modern language. So I would go back and learn that.
Even something like Google is dead ass just a bunch of bots that were just programmed to find certain queries. It's like it's really simple, but they got so many goddamn bots.
You seen that Facebook man was in the dorm room. Fair enough, his father taught him how to code, but we still talk about coding. He made Mark Zuckerberg made a website where he compared girls, and then whether he stole the idea, I don't know, but it's made literally an online Facebook. A Facebook back in America was just basically the university's way of your name and your face. That's what Facebook was for all their students. He literally made that online in a couple days, and look where he is now. Like, the possibilities are endless.
I hella feel you on that. So I'm gonna switch it over to the chat too. Hey chat, I want your guys' Sly to answer. I want you guys to answer Sly's question. If you could go to school for free, and also for the YouTube people, could we let the YouTube people too? Make sure you drop a comment down below. If you could go to school for free, what would you learn? It's that simple. It's that simple. Lynn P said marine biology. I would want to be able to look for deep sea animals. Astrophysics, anything spacey. Astrophysics, that's wild.
Astrophysics would be fucking
but our man's pretty smart, fam. So he's cool, fam. He can handle.
I'd be fucking up for that. That'd be sick.
You know what? Yeah, I said physics is one of them things. Yeah, it's cool to know. It's long to learn, fam. Like, astrophysics seem like once you know it sounds good, but the process of doing that, hell no.
Imagine how jaded you would be after learning something like that.
Have you guys watched that film? So my girlfriend got me to watch it with her, which is basically about like 3 black women who helped get the Apollo missions into space.
Hidden Figures.
That's it. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
That film's fucking lit. I didn't even know that. And the numbers, bruv. Oh my fuck.
Oh, that was too much.
So if people don't know what we're talking about, it's about like 3 key black women who in the 1960s during the space race helped get the Americans basically to space in terms of their calculations and their engineering and their overall ambition in the NASA Space Force, which not many people knew and no one was told about actually. So yeah, it's incredible. It's a really great film.
It's with you should watch Taraji, whatever her name is. I can't remember her last name. Yeah, and is it Kevin Costner or something?
I can't remember. But either way, it's a great film. Called Hidden Figures.
Yeah, Kevin Costner.
So go and give that a watch.
Mike's actually made me watch it. What's women in this? Did they see a couple of women like, yeah, let's get everyone to watch it? Alright, Ryan, did you know that guy, the main guy in it, the main white guy in it, is not real? Like, he's a made up character. One Kevin Costner plays.
That doesn't surprise me at all. That does not surprise me at all. Because he was way too like fucking
negative.
No.
Positive.
He didn't see, like, he was the line between
the white, the white savior trope in films. They're like there's a black film. It's like a white savior trope where he comes in and he's all for it. He's all for helping them, and that's the character he played.
Yeah, and that
so
it's quite obvious
motivation.
that didn't happen.
Hell
In
no.
respects to that character anyway, because
Yeah.
I just can't see it happen. Otherwise, they would have given credit way earlier for the way that he
Yeah.
acted. But yeah, it's a great film, so people should watch it. But that shit's interesting as hell.
With that idea, then let's segue into the first topic, which is binge culture. Let me ask you guys, what show has made you guys binge?
Game of Thrones.
Respect.
I binge watch something every fucking week.
I'm talking about like what's a show though, I'll even take it back. What's the first show or what show that's notable to you that made you like realize like I can't stop watching this show?
Either Game of Thrones or Hunter x Hunter, but I think I'll say Game of Thrones.
Hunter x Hunter is a good one.
I had so the first one, I'm gonna sound like a basic white boy. The first one was Breaking Bad, where I actually took days off college. I took 4 sick days off college so I could watch the entire season in a week. Because I'd had enough of going to college. I was like, nah, I'm taking this off and just binge watch the entire thing.
I was I had college. I started it on Monday, 12 a.m. I come back from my auntie's house, so Sunday just gone. She gave me the box set, figure seasons 1 to 4, and I hadn't seen it beforehand. I tried to watch the first season, I couldn't. So on the Sunday, Monday 00:00 a.m. I started it. Bear man, I had college on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Wednesday I had half day. By Wednesday, I'd finished all 4 seasons. I rinsed that out. Like as soon as I got home, put it straight on all the way to about 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Next day, boom, I rinsed it. And that's quite a lot of episodes of Game of Thrones while you got college.
Yeah, facts. What about you, Cozy?
I think the only show I've ever binge watched, not the only show, but the most notable one that comes to my mind is probably Cowboy Bebop. I mean, like I feel like anime is the only show that makes me fucking want to binge. Like as far as like regular TV shows, You was hella good. There was another one.
You was fucking creepy, bro.
I fucking love You. I think it's hella creepy. That fucking show. Ozarks made me fucking binge to watch
fucking
shit.
Lit. That is the fucking shit, bro. Oh my god, so good.
The first season was hella good to binge watch, but the second season I was only binge watching. I was getting hella mad. I was like, they better fucking come back from this.
Yeah, 100%. I was the first season is fucking awesome. Yeah, no, but the first season is awesome. The second season is like you have to binge watch it because you're like, I just want this to end.
Yeah, because you're like, what the fuck is going? Like, bro, they can't win in that. They can't win in second season, bro.
Yeah. But then I also had so just because I'm a fucking addict to binge watching shit, so I binge watched Walking Dead when I was at uni to the point where I would time an episode to end for when I had to leave to go to my lecture to then come back and finish the other episodes. Like it was ridiculous. I watched Peaky Blinders, Stranger Things, the whole first season. I was really hungover on a Sunday, and I watched the entire first season from like I think it was like 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. and just the entire. I didn't move. I just replayed over and over again the whole thing. Have you ever watched Gossip Girl?
I have not.
And I tell you, yeah, if you get in that, you're fucked.
Well, Gossip Girl, I used to watch it when it came out, when it first came out. So I never.
There's 120 episodes. There's 120 episodes, bro.
Wow, that's a lot.
It's a myth. And if you think that you're not gonna find something to watch on TV, bang on an episode, easy.
I think my most recent binge is Umbrella Academy.
Umbrella Academy's hot.
Yeah. I didn't mean to. I was just watching it, and by the time I looked, I was like 7 episodes in. I was like, oh, I might as well just finish it all off.
Is that a good one? That's the one with like the super mutants, right?
Yeah. They're in the school sort of academy. It's pretty good. One of my favorites.
Is it bad guys or bad boys? Bad guys? The one that you like, Dance, that you made your mum watch.
Oh, The Boys.
The Boys, that's it.
Yeah,
The
I
Boys, the
binged
Pillow
that as well, but that
Superhero.
was only
Oh, my
like
mom wants me.
6 or
My
8
brother,
episodes.
my dad wants me to watch The Boys.
That
The
is
Boys is good.
cold. That is like one of my favorites, like of recent time. That is cold.
Yeah, I'm honestly like, like I said, I guess. So the reason we bring up the topic of binge culture is because my man Viva Red wanted to talk about the concept of like how back in the day there wasn't really binge culture, but nowadays, obviously with the accessibility of like YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, all this shit, binging is at an all-time high. And he wanted to talk about like basically basically I'm gonna let him take over. What did you really want to talk about as far as that topic?
So I think in terms of how that changed over time for you or us as people, in terms of when I don't know about you guys, but when I was younger, it'd be like you got a new episode of Simpsons once a week kind of thing. And I know now they release things on Netflix like once a week, but you can still binge watch like a plethora of entire seasons. And it was only towards like I think around 2017 ish where they actually put an entire series of something on TV. And then
Yeah.
also as well how we think that's going to change in the future as well. Like, what do you guys think the future of TV is?
I tell you
Can I
what.
be honest?
Go on, you go.
I want to say, I think binge culture started when DVR became a thing.
What's DVR?
The digital video recorder, when you can record shows when you're not at home.
Yeah, that's facts.
Because once that became a thing, granted, people weren't binging the same show, but people record all their shows for the week and then binge them out on Saturdays and shit because they worked. I know my mom used to do stuff like that. She would like record hella Hallmark movies and then on Saturday sit there in the bed all day and just watch the Hallmark movies of the week.
I feel like we've all wanted to binge because just how it goes. But I think where, like you said, with the DVR, that's when it became more accessible. Because before, to binge watch something, you had to buy the DVD set or something like that, or do what I did and little LimeWire and download all the seasons if you could. So I feel like it's always been innate. People always wanted to do it. Because like shows, they know what they're doing. When they release one episode one week, they're trying to keep you hooked for the next week. That's just how it goes. But I just think with services like Netflix, it's just become easier to have access to all of the episodes. So now you have the option to do it, and people are just going to take it.
That's what I was going to say. The same to that was like, binging is like in us, like Sly said. It's just because I don't know if anybody in here watches anime. Anybody watches anime knows for sure that's all you fucking do is binge.
That's
like,
it.
That was
I was
before.
about to say that actually, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, before Netflix was a thing, bro, I was binging anime on the fucking low. My mom did not know I was up there watching anime episodes late at night. Like, focus too, like.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like I said, you don't get them. You get it, especially if you get them in Japanese. There's like fucking 400 episodes. You're like, bro, you like watch one season. You're like, bro, I gotta watch the rest of this, bro. I gotta watch the rest of this because the new episodes are coming out. I gotta have context. So you fucking burn through episodes hella quick. So now, go ahead.
College as well as another one, Hunter x Hunter, and that was a bit easier to watch. So I'll be sitting in the common room with my little phone, on the way home on the bus with my phone, on the train with my phone, just rinsing that out. Absolutely smashing.
I could never do that. I could never do that.
Because anime is short. Anime is like 20, or with the credits on it, it's about 15 minutes. So you watch one episode, you're like, okay, I want a bit more.
And the music is always fire.
Yeah.
I could never, like, I always had a problem. So I've never had like Netflix or anything on my phone because I don't want to have that accessibility. Because I know that, like, I've already told you guys before, like, I have an addictive like mind, where if I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna do this, and I have accessibility to it, I'm gonna keep doing it because I find it fun. So when I'm sitting there and I'm watching something, like a series or whatever, I'm gonna keep watching it. So I have to kind of take myself away from the situation. If I had it on my phone and I could walk around and just like watch it, I would do that, and that would take my life away from. I can't do that to myself.
Well, here's something funny.
One thing that our band said is he feels like he's watching it for the sake of finishing. I actually don't feel that. Like anytime I
Hell no,
binge
I
watch
don't.
something, it's because I literally can't stop. I want
Yeah.
to, no, I want to watch that. And
Because a good example
Go on.
is Cowboy Bebop. To agree with Slyvesterz, because it has a story, but it doesn't have a story that's linear. It's like each episode is its own story. So when I binged that, it wasn't like I want to see what happens at the end. It's like, damn, I want to see what this fucking next episode is about to be about.
I think it's better for the companies and profitable anyway to spread it out. Because look at WandaVision. Imagine WandaVision released all in 1 week. Most people are going to binge watch it, finish it within like a day or say a max a week. They're going to talk about it for another week and that's it. You ain't going to hear about it again. Whereas now, obviously, man's happy in it. Man gets a little content, you know what I mean? When it comes out every week, it's always in discussion. You're always talking, oh, what's going to happen next episode? No one knows. You got theories. All that analyzing breakdown of the previous video episodes, and then the next one comes out, then it moves on to the next point, then the old ones become more relevant, and it just expands, like extends.
So what's happening there is Netflix, etc., are getting better at realizing why TV did 1 episode a week, and it wasn't just because of the time slots, it's because it does create that excitement. So what you'll find is on Netflix you can binge watch anything that's older than a year. That's anything. So if something's released a year ago, you can binge watch it all. So Stranger Things, I think, is the only thing recently that's come out that hasn't been an episode a week. Or actually, no, the second season was an episode a week. So they learned basically because the first season was all of it. You could just fucking smash it all out, and that meant that within a week, no one cared about Stranger Things anymore. It has a buzz for like 3 weeks because there's a lag basically between the hype and then actually getting the hype, and then people watching after the hype. So you have that lag on like a process going through. So what they're learnt to do is to release once a week and then let you binge watch it for the people who missed the hype. So they get like basically a second burst every time.
They get, think about it, they get their money. Say everything's 8 episodes and that's 8 weeks. That's at least 2 weeks. If you want to be up to date with the content, that's a 2 weeks payment you have to pay, like, to continue watching. Continue paying for the subscription.
That's what I was going to talk about too. I said if you think about it from a business aspect, and that was the problem that Netflix was doing. They were putting all this money into these fucking high production movies, but you put them out in the 1 month and people binge it in the first week, and they're like, I don't got nothing to watch on Netflix, man.
That's
versus, like you said, versus if you space it out, one, you get more first one is just better for the. I'm sorry, I live with the age old fucking like mantra. The customer don't know what they want, bro. Like I said, like Lion said, sometimes you feel empty when it's over. A lot of people feel that same way, but they're gonna binge it regardless. So we know you don't want to binge it, but we know if it's all there, you're gonna watch it. So we're gonna give you 2 episodes every week. You watch your little 2 1-hour episodes, and we'll catch you next week. And you're gonna be, I hate to be, granted, it's also about the money, but it's also for the best interest. Because as far as like enjoyment, granted, give you context of my ideology on this. I have never had a TV. I haven't had a TV in my room since I was 14. Because when I was learning about, remember I was telling you how I break down millionaires, whatever. Their biggest thing was like none of them have TVs in their rooms. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm being a kid. Like, I'm in a house where everybody has a TV in their fucking room. I was like, why the fuck would you not have a TV in your room? That's so stupid. And they were talking about basically the concept that if you have a TV in your room, you're going to use it. And when you use the TV, you're watching some bullshit that you don't need to be watching. Kind of like what Beaver Red is saying. If I had the phone, I would do nothing but be on the phone all day. So the same concept of like, you rather spend that time reading and whatever. So like, when I think about that, I think about this too. Is like, you gotta understand the tendencies of people. We want to give you all the episodes because we know that's what you want, but at the end of the day, you're gonna burn through episodes and you're gonna lose the hype before next month comes and the next episodes come. So it's better off we just give you 2 a week, so you finish the season at the end of the month, and then you be hyped for the next season, next month or whatever. How that works.
I always felt like the episodes I did binge watch, going back to that point, I felt empty, and what I would do is I would go on YouTube and watch bare like behind the scenes
Theories.
interviews, bare things. Like for ages, I would do that, and I realized, yeah, with these episodes coming out weekly, say like WandaVision, I don't do it too much. I may go on and watch like one breakdown of the episode, but that's it. I'm not watching like, oh, the cast interview on Jimmy Fallon or something like that. I'm not doing that because I'm satisfied. You know what I mean? It's spread out. I've got to enjoy this show over like 2 months now. Whereas binging it, day or two gone, you're just thinking, I want more.
But then that's also a point of Disney Plus have put that in there as well. So for The Mandalorian, you can watch the entire making of it, all the directors' interviews, all that shit. So like they add the content too, because they know that if you're especially with Star Wars, a lot of people are Star Wars like super fans, so they need to give that extra
Dick
information.
writers, you might even say.
Pardon?
PP writers, you might even say.
You might say. But those guys are going to be involved, and they're gonna want to watch it anyway. So if you're creating content, then crack on. But
I will say this honestly. I feel like when it comes to binging, like I feel like I watch hella movies before I watch shows. I'm not the biggest show fan.
fair.
But then it's like a double-edged sword because shows build the character development better, but movies they just hit them cinematic pieces be hidden.
The extra budget in it, like the visuals look way better. But now I'm thinking about shows for me like Daredevil. I was watching some clips on that a couple of days ago. Daredevil's not even like part of the big screen, but he's like one of my favorite heroes because that show, all 3 seasons was just cold. Like you didn't even need no high budget. That thing was hot. Like, but then again, I've realized with recent, I feel, which is why I like what they're doing with WandaVision. I feel a lot of the stuff we watch as a movie, I feel will be better off on a series. Because like you said, you can flesh out the characters much more. Movies, unless you do like a trilogy, which is fine, unless when they try and force it, I don't like when they do that. You've got 2 hours maybe to explore these characters, come to a conclusion, and do something with them. And it's like sometimes I can relate to the characters, but sometimes it just goes very, very quickly. I'd rather see like not a more drawn out process, but a more fleshed out, in depth process. So,
well, that's what they did with Marvel.
That's what
with like the Avengers and everything like that. They created a series of movies.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the way that Batman has been done in the past. I feel like granted some of the older ones still follow that theory, like they gotta explain who Batman is, but especially with this new one that's coming out, I feel like I like when they make a movie and they give the benefit of the doubt that the person has an idea who the fuck Batman is before they come into this movie.
That's what
so the movie's gonna be about Spider-Man 2. Yeah, you know the fucks. If you don't know who Peter Parker is at this point and who fucking Gwen and fucking Mary Jane is, bro, just do me a favor. Just do me a favor right here. Just do me a favor. Push the power button. Just get the fuck off, bro.
Yep.
Don't even walk into the theater, bro. But yeah, I feel like if you don't have the context, like I feel like if they let you have the benefit that you have the context already, you can make way better movies. Because I feel like this next movie is gonna be so fucking dope, and I don't know why, but I feel like it's gonna be so fucking fly.
I feel like they also need to flip. I've just lost it. Oh, sorry. Especially with the comic books, right? What I like about this Batman, I know people are complaining, saying, "Oh, this Batman is not the real Batman or whatever." But I genuinely like when they. Let's think about comics, right? There's different comics. There's hundreds of one character. There's hundreds of comics, and they all have like different They have the same core personality, but one they go through different stories, yes. But some of the tones are different. Some of the actions they take are different. So, for example, Batman: The Dark Knight Returns, not the film, the actual comic.
My favorite.
Batman is an old man and he's brutal as shit. I want them to explore that on the big screen rather than just doing the same. I mean, I know Batman v Superman, that's what he's based off. I want them to explore different variations and renditions of the characters we already know, especially if they've already done like 4-5 films. Like we've already seen 3 different Spider-Mans. The next Spider-Man I want to see, it needs to be different.
But on that point, that's why Miles Morales. Yeah, that's the first one. But then also on the Batman stuff, we all know that the trilogy of the Batman Returns, etc., was fucking the best Batman ever. So
Christopher Nolan knows what the fuck he's doing.
Exactly right. So anything with the best villains, in my opinion, I can't name a better villain than obviously like Joker and Bane. Like together, that's ridiculous. And the fact that Bane was able to then precede the Joker and still like stand up and be like a good villain is kind of scary to me a little bit. I can't even lie. So in terms of the three of those films, then you're gonna have like a new Batman, and like everyone's just gonna look at it and just be like, it's shit. So it doesn't matter if it's the best film on the planet, it will be deemed as not as good. So that's kind of tainted it, really.
Then again, you don't know, because
but
look
you
at
gotta think
Joaquin
about
Phoenix
that-
and
that
Joker.
same-
Because there's no Joker film. No one thought it would match Heath, and that new Joker film is
But that's
wavy.
why
It was
a
completely different.
thing. It's a
Yeah,
completely
yeah.
different thing.
Yeah.
Like that's why it stands up. Whilst the Batman is always the Batman, unless, like you said, unless they did like old Batman, like years in the future, like old, hard, cruel guy. Cool, that's a different take on it.
Speaking
But
of
they
that,
didn't do that.
the game Gotham Knights, I can't wait till that motherfucker drop. When Batman's dead, and you get to play as fucking like all the Batman spinoffs, the fucking Robin, Nightwing, and Batgirl and shit like that, bro. I'm fucking pumped.
You know what? Yeah,
I can't wait for that shit.
I never really played much of the Batman games. I remember going to my cousin's house and playing the first Arkham Asylum, and I was there for about 4 hours thinking, when is this mission gonna end? I didn't realize it's one continuous thing. I'm sitting there thinking, yo, when is this gonna end?
Arkham Asylum woke me up. I said, damn, there is good superhero games, cause fuck. Cause Superman, trash.
Yeah. They need to flip in.
X-Men.
They was going to do a Batman film where he's just going to be in Arkham Asylum and he's going to be fighting all these foes. Like, all of them are being released. That would be cold. I think Ben Affleck was meant to do it, but he didn't. That would be one of the hottest things, fam.
No cap though, like to what Viva said about the Batman series, bro. You know what I like about Christopher. You know what I like about Christopher Nolan's interpretation of it, of like Batman. It's hella surreal. Like it ain't no like, like you know, like the old ones is like, oh, I have the laughing gas and shit like that, like shit that you like know is like not real. What Christopher Nolan's one is like, damn, bro, like this shit could really happen. Like what the fuck, like
Yeah.
like. And like, especially like, cause obviously the Joker was just a fucking anarchist. Like, I love that part of it. I was like, I don't have no reason to do what the fuck I do. I just want to see the world burn. And Bane was just like, Bane just scared the fuck out of me, bro. Cause like, you know, the cart. I don't know much about the comic book, but I know he has like obviously has like the green shit that makes him hella swole. Like,
Venom.
Bane just looks like, yeah, Bane is just hella fucking.
Dark.
Just charged by fucking darkness, bro. Like he's like,
Yeah.
I just want to see the city fall to his knees, and they want them to realize that you can't do shit for him. It's like,
exactly,
Bro.
and it's the whole like I was born in a dark mold.
But you can't be monologuing on the guy.
Like, nah, like that's the most quotable film on the planet, apart
Bro,
from fucking like obviously like your funny comedy ones like fucking Step Brothers. That's the most like easily quotable action film ever.
You know what? One of the things that gassed me in that film, yeah. You know when he's with that guy, he's a human guy, he's rich and all that. He's one funding Bane basically.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he's like,
And
where
he
the
just
hell is
puts his
Bane?
hand up.
And he puts his hand, he's like, do you feel in charge? I was like, yo, this man is serious. He is
It's just,
serious.
but it's the way he open palm
So he
just
puts
here.
Stairs.
Like, the audacity.
And that gives you power over me? Aye. Nah, cold.
bro. I like the fucking scene when fucking and in the part 2 of the Batman, is it Batman? It's the Dark Knight Begins. Dark Knight Rises, right?
Dark Knight.
Is it Dark Knight?
Batman Begins, Dark
Okay.
Knight, and then Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, there you go. So in the Dark Knight, when the fucking Joker steals all the he gets all that fucking money and puts it in that big ass pyramid, he burns the fucking money because he's like, I don't give a fuck about this shit. I just fucking did it. It's like, to me, I was like,
Hey,
like that man is crazy.
there's one smart thing he does in The Dark Knight. You know when he goes into the party and he's hanging Rachel at the window, yeah, And then Batman's like, let her go. And he goes, that's a poor choice of
Poor choice
words.
of words.
And he lets her go. When I first watched it, I didn't clock it. I've seen that film too many. That's my favorite film. I've seen that film too many times. And after I was like, wait, he just did what he said. He's mad. Cold.
Yeah.
Cold.
But it's the way that he's just walking around. It's like, and he does the we have one position in our squad, and then he like snaps the poker stick, and he's just like, so we're gonna have tryouts. And you're just like, oh my god, what the fuck is going on?
Have you seen Christopher Nolan's movie The Tenet?
No.
Tenant, is it?
I
Tenant?
heard it's
Tenet.
Yeah, the rewindy one.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
recent.
yeah.
I fucking struggled to watch that. I can't even lie to you.
Bro, have you watched it all the way through?
Yeah. I went to the cinema to watch it.
Honestly, you gotta watch it multiple times because the first time I watched it, I said, I'm fucking lost in the sauce. But when you watch it again, you're like, a lot of shit is making sense.
It makes sense. Like the film makes sense, and it's really, really clever. I think
It's
just
just
throughout
slow.
the entire thing, I was sitting there, I was just like, fucking hell, my head hurts. Because it was going like fucking quick.
Yeah.
Inception in a nutshell. It was like multiple Inception. Like Inception is
much.
one of the best films ever created, but like Inception is the right word for that.
For
It's
real.
crazy.
Christopher
And then,
Nolan's
like-
portfolio, top notch, fam. No many directors are beating that portfolio, fam.
Oh wait, actually, sorry. Before we move on from Batman, can we just talk about the fact that that cast in the last film was fucking ridiculous? Because obviously in the second one, Dark Knight, they had to do the whole like because it's Heath Ledger and it was fucking amazing. So then for the third film, they had to like really
Tom Hardy.
upscale to even try and get there. Because they were like, okay, to match this, we have to really go fucking balls deep here. I think they smashed it, and that cast was fucking ridiculous.
Tom Hardy's fucking dope, bro.
Tom Hardy. I've forgotten the fucking woman's name. How have I forgotten the woman's name?
Anne Hathaway.
Who played Catwoman. Anne Hathaway. Like,
Yeah.
you got Morgan fucking Freeman. I know he was in the other ones, but like,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
I tell you what though, Christopher Nolan, he has these people them. So someone like Sir Michael Caine, Alfred. He's always in all of his films. Same with Cillian Murphy, who plays Scarecrow in
The first
Batman.
one.
I'm sorry,
he's in all of them. He's one of the only characters that's in all three.
First one.
Huh?
I wasn't the biggest fan of Batman Begins. I couldn't watch it.
It was a bit too scary.
Batman Begins is very slow. It's very slow.
It's too fucking slow for me. Like
But
I've watched
then
it.
the problem with it, yeah, is that you watch the first one and you'd come away and you'd go, "That's a decent film," and then you'd watch the second and the third one, you go, "Wow, the first one's shit."
Batman Begins.
Yeah,
is
Like,
an issue, one, yeah.
it doesn't give you context. Like you're gonna have an unfair opinion of it based on the next two films because they were way better films. Like no one rewatches the first one. No one's gonna go, "Do you know
Unless
what?
you're binging the whole, unless you're doing a whole whole trilogy. That's the only time you watch it.
Exactly. But then you'll get bored halfway through and you'll be like, "Fuck it, let's just watch the Joker one."
Yeah, I've turned off the Batman Begins too many times at the halfway mark.
Cillian Murphy's in all of them. He's one of the few that are in. He's boys with Christopher Nolan, fam. Them and our boys, fam.
That's tight. Well, it's kind of like what's his name? Samuel Jackson and fucking Quentin Tarantino.
The Footman.
Yeah. But Samuel
Charlie
Jackson, oh man. Like, can you imagine being able to have that as your like go-to guy? It's like, oh, I'm gonna write a film and Samuel Jackson's gonna be in it. Like, fuck off. just being able to say that, like, oh, I'm gonna have Samuel Jackson. You're gonna have like, it's Morgan Freeman and Samuel Jackson in terms of like black artists for me that are like on top of the pile. So when you sit there and you go, oh yeah, I've got Sam on one hand. Christopher Nolan's like, I've got Morgan. I'm like, no, you're done. You've won. Fair play.
Honestly, too, bro. Whoever always like, I feel like there's a few actors where I feel like if they're in it, it's an automatic banger. And one of them is always Denzel Washington. If I see Denzel Washington,
I would have put 5
like,
pennies in that.
Denzel Washington. Every time I see Denzel Washington in a movie, I'm like, ooh. Will Smith used to be that guy. The last movies he was in, I was like,
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then, fucking, what's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio. Every time I fucking see a Leo in a movie, bro, I'm ready to buy that ticket right then and there.
I tell you what, though, with Will Smith and Denzel Washington, for some reason, to me, they're so iconic that I just see them in every movie. I just see them. Like, I don't know why. I just don't get the performance, the person they're acting as more than I get them as the actor. So it's just
Pursuit of Happiness. I don't know, bro.
I think it depends on the film though, because a lot of the time
There
they'll
are
be
a lot of-
given quite a decent amount of freedom. I think.
even like, I was
Like
watching,
when you reach that stature, you don't really need to do a whole lot. Like Morgan Freeman, in my opinion, just says what he's told to say, and
Morgan Freeman is Morgan Freeman.
Exactly, it just sounds it's Morgan Freeman because his voice is so iconic. It doesn't matter.
that's how I feel like Denzel. So I watched Denzel, but oh, he's a gangster today. Oh, he's an old retired something today. Like, I don't know. I rate him, of course, but he's just more. I don't know. He's more iconic than.
That's why I think though there's a difference with Leo, because if I'm watching Leo in something, I feel like Leo's whole demeanor changes.
It's a whole different thing.
Like he's a completely different. He's not Leo. Like, you know, like there's an example when he's like screaming, like shouting. I don't think it's Leo shouting, even though he has a very iconic voice. I feel like if he's in Wolf of Wall Street and he's screaming at his wife, compared to when he's in what was that film he actually got the Oscar for? I don't like it, but what was it? Revenant. In Revenant, when he's screaming about his son, like the contrast is very different to me. And I know the films are very different, but I can still differentiate them. Whilst if I hear Morgan Freeman, it's Morgan Freeman. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I feel like Will Smith had some really good movies early in his career, but
Wild Wild West was a banger.
I haven't seen that.
A sick film. Great
Pretty
film.
good.
A great film.
Apparently, he done that rather than doing The Matrix or something like that.
He did. He got offered The Matrix.
Dumb. Yeah, that's kind of dumb because the
he
Matrix is fucking lit.
Well, he said he didn't understand it. That's why he didn't take the role.
Who was it for? Was it who was he meant? Was he meant to be Neo?
Or I'm glad if he was meant to be Morpheus, I'm glad he wasn't Morpheus.
That would've been crazy.
Do you feel? I know this is completely off topic.
I think Morpheus was fucking amazing.
We'll go off who? What's his name? Lawrence Fishburne. They play Morpheus. You know his daughter's a porn star. Like, was for a bit. I feel like some people say they see an actor in a role or actress, whatever, and then they say, "Oh, that person was born to be that person." You know what I mean? Like, that's them. But I don't think that's entirely true for majority of the cases. I think that's just hindsight. I just think the actor played them really well. They made it theirs, but I wouldn't turn around and say no one else can do it. Do you know what I mean? We haven't seen anyone else like that. I kind of feel like with Robert Downey Jr. because Iron Man, he was a B-list hero. All the Avengers were like B, C-list. No one really knew about the Avengers. They knew about a couple Marvel characters like Spider-Man, but the Avengers, I'm telling you, Ruzi, before Iron Man came out, me and you might have known because we played games, but most people didn't really know about the Avengers. They were B and C-list heroes.
Iron Man?
Iron Man.
I thought Iron Man, Cap, and fucking...
They're the main trio, but
Hulk and the Hulk were like the top. Everyone
Hulk
knows.
was. Iron Man, not so much. He wasn't as Hulk. Captain America, not so much. And the other ones, who the other ones? Hawkeye and all that. No. The main heroes were probably like Spider-Man, Hulk, then you got your Batman, your Supermans, your Wonder Womans. That's why there's been so many Supermans, so many Batmans. They were like the A-tier heroes. The Justice League was higher than the Avengers. But anyway,
yeah, I've said that because I get what you're saying now. DC was always on a higher
always,
wave than Marvel.
Now Marvel is because of Spider-Man was one of the few, but the Avengers were not. They were low tier. I don't remember the Avengers too tough, and I used to bang out games. Anyway, what I was gonna say is
I used to watch the old fucking Hulk movies.
Yeah, the first Spider-Man film with I forgot his fucking name. Yeah, he was sick. That's why Spider-Man's known. Let's not even front about it. That film was sick. That first Spider-Man film was revolutionary.
Tobey Maguire fucking blessed us with Spider-Man.
But one, 2, 3. Even to the comics as well. The Avengers wasn't really.
No, I fuck with that.
You know what I mean? They were known, but they weren't
popping. A fucking nerd then.
But anyway, now Robert Downey Jr. Everyone says like he is Tony Stark. Do you know what I mean? And then my friend tried to argue and he tried to say, look, no one else could have been him, innit? Like, oh, anyone could play Batman. Look how many, anyone could play Superman, but there's only one Iron Man. But I think that's only because one, Iron Man's not like that in the comics. He's not this funny, quippy guy. He's an alcoholic bastard. So Robert Downey Jr. come and he's basically put, because that's how Robert Downey Jr. basically acts in real life.
Like characteristic.
Yeah, he put his own characteristics into Iron Man and like kind of reinvented Iron Man. That's why I feel like people say like he is the one and true only Iron Man. You know what I mean?
I would give the argument of Sherlock Holmes. So I don't know if you guys have watched the Sherlock Holmes, but you have the movies, which is Robert Downey Jr., and then you have the series, which is Benedict Cumberbatch, and both of them do him incredibly differently, and they're both really fucking good. So it's kind of like, yeah, like I personally agree with Dance. I don't think someone's made to do whatever. I think you can cast it very well, and that's the whole point of having a casting director, is you cast it as best you can, and then you give the artist the creative freedom to make it their own. That's how it should work, in my opinion. If I'm making a film and I cast someone, I want them to evolve the character themselves too.
Is it fair to say that, because a good example is the Batman, we're talking about Batman. Is it fair to say that once someone does a role in a certain niche hella good, it's like more people are gonna want more of that type of that role? So example is obviously before the Dark Knight, Batman was a little bit more like comedic, I guess you could say. It was a little bit more it was like, yeah, exactly. It was kind of like it was serious, but it was semi-serious. It was like still kind of jokes, and you know, he would make jokes with fucking Poison Ivy about and shit like that when it was George Clooney. But once it became the Dark Knight, you see the next ones that came out there, like even the Joker was surreal. The fucking like he's making like the new Batman, which is, I don't think, is a new Batman made by Christopher Nolan. I don't think so.
The new Batman.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder, but yeah, Zack Snyder.
Okay. But it's the same concept, like hella dark ass.
Yeah,
Batman. You saw him beating that fucking ass to somebody. Like,
yeah.
I feel like your friend, obviously your friends are being hella like hyperbolistic as far as like there's, you know, nobody would do Robbie Downey Jr. Like nobody would do Iron Man like Robbie Downey Jr. But I feel like they will always continue that reign of charismatic Iron Man, because that's what people want.
Yeah, that's literally, I think even in the latest TV shows they do, Iron Man, so his character has changed forever. He's always going to be a joke man now, as in like a jokey, narcissistic but lovable character.
I ain't gonna front. My favorite interpretation of Iron Man was a fucking little known TV show. I can't remember what it was even called. I think it was like an Iron Man. It was like an Iron Man rendition of like if they were all in high school, and like it still plays on the idea of like, you know, Tony doesn't have his dad and shit like that because dad is like off, lost to the world type shit. So it's like Pepper Potts and Tony like all in school or whatever, and he's like building a suit while he's in high school. And that shit was kind of tough.
A cartoon.
It was like a 3D one. It was like a 3D cartoon.
Reminds of X-Men Evolution. I didn't realize it was a different rendition at all in high school. But I don't want to go too much on this because we're at the hour mark. We've got an hour left. So let's go into the next one, which we do in Love in the Process or Copy V. One.
We can do the process if you guys are into that.
Tell me about the process, Woozy. I said that like an American. Oh my god! I said process.
Tell me about the process.
Process.
But
process. What is process, mate?
Basically, I just wanted to talk about the idea of like, I guess you could say, love in the process, because I feel like a lot of people. It's funny too. I had this discussion with Deja last night. Because I was telling her, she was basically talking about how she wants to be a vet, but she hates school. And I was like, how do you want to be a vet, but you don't want to go to school? That doesn't make any sense. It's kind of backward. Yeah. And she was like, I can want to be a vet and hate going to school. I said, but that doesn't make any sense, because to be a vet, you have to learn. You gotta want to learn how to be a vet. So I think it's weird that you hate going to school and this and that. And I get it. There's like a lot of prerequisites to go to vet school. And that sucks, but I'm like, I feel like that's what she was telling. That she tried to apply it to me. She's like, that's like saying you want to be a big streamer, but you want to be a big streamer, but you can't like being a small streamer. I said, I honestly love the process of being a small streamer, because if you don't have the process of being a small streamer, you'll never, like, what's the word, appreciate being a fucking big streamer. Like, and
And the
I feel
grind
like
that
that
goes
applies to
behind it.
anything. Exactly. Like, that's why I think it's crazy that, I don't know. I just think it's crazy that people don't people don't care for the process. Like, I get it, a lot of people hate it. And don't get me wrong, like, there's some times where it's like gritty and like, oh, this shit trash. But I've never hated what I was doing to get somewhere. And I want to get your guys' idea about the process.
It's remember what I said earlier when we was talking about the astrophysics or something. I was like, being one sounds cool, but getting there sounds long. So I kind of understand what she means, because
I understand it too.
if I want to be something, I want to be that. I don't really want to have to go through the process of learning. If I could, I'll just be there, because majority of the time, of course, what you go through in the process, the process like molds you to become that. But I'm not looking at it. I just want to get to that end part, and the process, in a sense, is a means to an end to me. So I don't think you necessarily have to enjoy it. I feel like enjoying it makes it better, and it's less likely that you're gonna drop out or change. But I understand not enjoying it, because sometimes I don't. In hindsight, when you get there, you can look back and be like, yeah, cool. But whilst being in it, sometimes it can be hard.
I guess my thing is this: I'm not saying, like I said, to say this for granted. I understand why people don't like the process. The only reason I'm bringing it up and talking about it is because I feel because like people are saying in the chat, discipline is the biggest factor here. Not to mention it's the amount of effort you're gonna put in. If I constantly tell myself I hate this, you're only gonna see the negatives of school. Like I said, I personally want to go to school, but I know it would not benefit me going forward. But if I went to school because I wanted to go to school to be a aeronautical engineer, I would have loved the process of going to school because of multiple things. One, you meet hella new people. Especially if you go to a different school. She went to a school outside her state. You get to meet hella people. You get to do hella shit that you wouldn't do on a normal basis. Like, to me, that's the aspect. I'm like, how can you hate that? You're outside of your comfort zone, like on the maximum level. How can you hate that? I get it, going to class. That's like the byproduct at the end of the day. Or I guess the other one's a byproduct. I feel like the byproduct of school is like amazing. And people are so focused on, I have to go to class to take an exam, that it ruins their whole college experience.
You know what it is, right? Speaking on that so quickly, say my engineering, I thought I was excited to go learn engineering university with all the social aspect people. When I actually got there, I realized that it's not how I thought it would be. So even after
I quit, right?
I didn't quit that.
You got your engineering degree?
Yeah,
he did. Yeah.
Oh, you're wild.
You thought I quit?
He wanted to quit. He wanted to quit. Very
you thought I quit?
That's what I said. I would have quit, and that's what I told her. That's what I was basically explaining. I'm like, if you don't want to do it, then don't do it.
Yeah,
but like that's gonna end soon. You know what I mean? Like,
Dan's wanted to quit.
The longest period, once you get it, or once you become that thing, you're gonna enjoy that period for much longer than the actual process, really and truly. Especially when it comes to school, because school ends after a couple of years, or there's a set time that you know of. So I knew once I finished my year, I would be good. Like, I would have my engineering degree if I wanted to use it, which I haven't. But whilst I was actually learning it, it was just like, this process ain't enjoyable at all, because it's nothing to what I expected. And
exactly,
I've come out of uni and I've turned around and said, I don't think I'm closer to being an engineer than I was when I first went in. Personally, that's me personally.
She said there you were all tempted to quit.
Yeah, we was.
Do you know what's funny about that though, Dance? Is that you may not think that you're closer, but you could get a job in engineering, no problem.
I could get one, yeah, but in terms of
so you are like in terms of your ability or where you think you could be, I agree with you.
My credentials,
just by doing it, you could turn around and just be like, I have an engineering degree from Brunel, and they'd go, cool, and they'd probably that would put you at a higher stead than anyone who fucking hadn't done it.
I think my thing too with this because Pont said you have to love it since 99% of it will be your job. I know a lot of it be bullshit until you get to that good part where it's actually your job. And that's where I remember that's why the engineering thing for me was like, I actually to this day I still genuinely love the idea of engineering. Like I remember when I was doing an AP, so an AP calculus in America, AP is advanced placement. It means you learn it at a faster rate, and then at the end of the class, you actually learn applications of what you're learning. So obviously, like learning it was just fucking boring, but the applications was what to me was what I was like, damn, engineer is fucking dope. Because I remember he was like, you have this amount of material, and you have this shape that you have to make out the material, so you can make it out of the like what the amount of material you have now, you can make it, but figure out an equation to make the same shape with less material. And I was like, what the fuck? You get to do shit like this?
We
And
didn't
I was
do
like
shit
learning
like
about that. That's what we did in the application. It was like, so I was like, we were doing that. I was like, yo, this shit's kind of fly. Cause he was like, yeah, you can make this drawer, what, X amount of square feet of material. But if you know, here's this little, here's this formula that you can use and try to see if you guys can find out the answer. If you can use less material to make the same thing. And I was like, yo, what the fuck? This shit kind of fly. But like at the end of the day, I was like, can I imagine myself doing this all day? Hell no. Cause I was like, you gotta be in the office for like 60 hours a week type shit. Like, I don't know, man.
See, and them little
But
hints of thing, you think, yeah, I would like to do that, but then you realize you're not even doing that. Bro, I thought I was doing bare applying stuff in engineering. It was just more formulas and stuff, like more calculus, as you lot call it. Like
that's what
I
is.
signed up for.
Formulas sound hella. I mean, I like formulas. I always love breaking down like the prime and shit like that, and trying to. This only thing I sucked was when anytime it came to a graph. That's when you blew me out the water. I was like, hey, I don't know nothing about none of that. But when it came to a formula, I was like, okay, let's get into this. Let's break this motherfucker down.
Well, that's the thing, is that you'll have parts of it down and other parts of it not. And like everyone can relate to that. There'll be things that you're better at and things that you're not as good at. Like, literally everyone can do that. So like, even if you're doing retail, maybe you're really good at figuring out where everything should go, but you're not very good at talking to the customers, or vice versa. Like, exactly. Like I had that in investment banking. I hated financials. I literally fucking hate it. I don't enjoy any part of it, and I'm not very good at it because I'm not motivated to do it. But I was hella good at talking to our clients and making relationships and explaining what a business was and making it make sense for the long term. But I just sucked at the financials. I didn't like it. But that doesn't mean that I was bad at the job. It just meant that they tried to make me do financials and I didn't do it.
And so I would, like I said, I guess my thing for you guys that I want to hear you guys' idea about is like, now you guys are in your current, goals. You guys got your current goals. How do you guys feel about the process to your current goals?
I feel like this in particular now is more enjoyable only because the stuff I'm doing, I can see the results pretty much instantly. So say you want to talk about streaming or even like streaming or YouTube content, or say me specifically my web development, I can see my work right then and there, and I can see it improve, and I'm actually applying it to stuff I would be applying it to if I already knew everything I needed to know. So I feel like this process is much more enjoyable and much better compared to uni. I wasn't an engineer in uni in a sense, you know what I mean? I was training to be, but a lot of the stuff I would be doing or I wish I knew, I wasn't able to do then and there. Like, because it was more theory, it wasn't that practical. Whereas compared to now, it's much different.
Let me ask you, do you feel like the measuring, so like what you measured, like as far as like, you remember you said you can get results quicker.
You can see progress.
Do you feel like, progress. Do you feel like the progress you're looking for as far as when you go to uni is different than the progress you're looking for when you're doing the process now?
Yeah, they are different, and I prefer this one much better. I want to see I don't want to see like massive. I need to see incremental change, and it sort of validates the process. It validates, okay, I see what I'm doing this for. I understand now, and it adds on motivation even though like it eggs you on to go further. When you're unable to see the progress for ages, it's off-putting. It's hard to do. When I first started doing coding and stuff, I was learning Python and I couldn't really apply that.
Fun fact, this is why you make small attainable goals, by the way, guys.
True. But when I was learning like Python at first, which is another coding language, but I couldn't apply it properly how I wanted to.
Use Python?
I started
Python
learning
fucking
it.
mix your computer up.
Python is calm, man. That's better. No, that's light.
I'm talking about no Python. I'm talking about Python is dope, but I thought Python would make you do hella unnecessary processes when you can make it different when you use CSS.
No.
I remember I was learning about it. It was like, I mean, I heard Python's hella more simple to use, but
I think
it could put like more weight on like your like CPU or some shit like that.
Yeah. I hear that. Not with CSS. CSS is completely different. But in terms of Python, I was learning it, but I didn't really see how I could apply it, and so I found it hard. When I started doing web development, which is JavaScript, CSS, HTML, I'm looking at the screen and I'm seeing what I'm doing, and I could see incremental progress, and it's like, cool, I'm down, I'm running with it. And you don't really see that in uni, I don't think, anyway.
I mean, that's real. I mean, I think that's a problem with a lot of education systems. There's no applications. I mean, granted, like you say, you got the theories and shit like that, but like, I think that's why people love science so much. Okay, here's the shit we've been learning, but let's apply this.
Let's go get this plant and look at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this mineral has this in it, and you want to know how you know it has it in it? Fucking burns and it turns green. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, this mineral has this in it. You want to see how we can prove that? Fucking turns red. You're like, oh shit.
We say it right.
Versus, yeah. What's
So I have like multiple things going on like dance. So like I manage one of my friends' music career. I have the YouTube and I have the streaming. And then also I want to do like photography and stuff, but I don't have the money to buy a camera and all this jazz. So in terms of how that goes, like the process, sometimes I fucking can't be asked, if I'm honest. But I know that if I don't do it, it's not going to get done. So I try to enjoy, like I enjoy when I make a cool intro for a video. I like intros. Like the actual video itself, I think kind of edits itself. But doing the intro is where you can have like the most creativity in my mind right now. So I love all of that stuff. But the issue I get is when I'm sitting there and it's like, I have to make a routine basically for myself in order to do the process. If I don't have a routine, I won't do it. So, and I need to be disciplined in order to do the routine. So I know, like, for example, when I was saying to dance and you guys a couple of weeks ago, when my feet touch the floor of my bedroom, I need to get up and brush my teeth, go for a shower, no matter what time of day it is, just to make sure that I did those things. And then I'll make my bed so I can't go back into my bed. Like, really, like, remedial bullshit is what keeps me moving. So having that routine, having that pattern, I think makes the process easier. The process is never easy. No one ever loves getting up early and like fucking, apart from Woozy, but then
the process
like
doesn't have to be hard though.
Getting up early and going, okay, I have X, Y, Z to do. I'm gonna love every day about this thing. Like you're gonna have down days. Everyone has down days. It's just about how you keep to the process, really.
And I want to say that that's a good aspect you just pointed out. It's not always, people get hung up on those one bad days. You gotta realize it's always gonna be bad days.
Yeah, everyone has bad days. Like, and I think it's just creating a routine is all you can do, and then as the guys were saying earlier, being disciplined. Like, if you can create a routine that for an hour XY day, like one of my friends uses calendars, and he'll set time in his calendar to make him do things on particular days. So he knows from 12 to 1 he works out. So that time is allocated for working out. So if he doesn't do a workout in that time, what the fuck has he done? He's not achieved anything. And then that's kind of like it's also self-deprecating, because if you don't stick to your plan, you have to be able to deal with that. But that's life sometimes. Life is gonna, like, for example, I've got shit going on right now. I haven't put a YouTube video out for 2 weeks, but then I'm planning on putting 2 videos out this week. So like it's just the way it goes. Like, if something happens and you're in a place where you're like, I'm not feeling it, don't hate yourself for not feeling it, but then get yourself back into that process and into your routine again.
I will say this too. you can you gotta be realistic too. Like you said, if you like I said, the last couple of weeks have been eventful for you, I imagine. Like I said, all the things you
Mm.
told me. So it's like obviously I wasn't you said last week, right?
Yeah, the last couple of weeks, yeah.
Yeah, last couple of weeks have been eventful for you. So it's like it makes sense why you haven't put a video out. Like I think that's what people get like hung up. Now I know I had to stop myself a lot of times because like I said, I like this Sunday I had shit that I had goals that I had planned and I achieved like 1/3 of the goals and I was like, oh, and I was hella mad. And it's like one of those things where it's like like you said, there's no one who's gonna get on my back if I don't do what I need to do.
Mm.
So the only person gonna get on my back is me. So like I know we talked about it before, like we'll be worse on ourselves than other people will be, but it kind of has to be that way. But like
Yeah.
as far as like when it comes to the process, it's like I don't know, like especially like this process, I fucking like I said, even like with Instagram, like for a long time I was just not on Instagram. Like granted, because Instagram was changing all the algorithms and stuff like that, and I started getting jaded towards the Instagram and all that shit. But like just recently, just getting back into Instagram, it's like, bro, like you really could have been doing this the whole fucking time. It's like the shit that you are. It's like I guess it's one of those things where you gotta kind of mask the process and some other shit because obviously making the content is not fun, but sometimes it can be fun depending on what it is. Like playing Call of Duties with you guys to make like the day we like a good example when we made the shotgun video.
Yeah.
You were like, boys, I need a shotgun video. We gotta fucking we gotta get it. So it's just like
Well, I think the part on that as well was we started out just the three of us gaming, and then I clicked the wrong loadout, and I had the double shotguns. I was like, I'm not recording, and then you were just like, record, and then it was like, right, we're gaming, boys. And then I was recording for the rest of the session, you know, and like I was just looking to vibe and chill because normally I record every session I do, but in that scenario I was like, no, I just want to play, and I ended up recording and it ended up being a video and it did really well, you know. So like it just depends.
I feel like sometimes routine is a bit, I don't know, like routine is great, and for majority of things, I realized of late, especially today, right? Before this podcast, it was about 2:00 and I wanted to do some coding. So the website I'm trying to create, I want to put like a YouTube API in there. So I want to have YouTube videos on there, have a list of them, you can click through, blah, blah, blah. Now I said to myself, I'm going to spend an hour doing this because an hour coding a day, people say if you're learning a skill, do an hour at least every day. I wrote like one line of code because I'm troubleshooting and trying to understand. So now if I sat there and was like, I need to stick and do it only for an hour, I don't think I would have gotten anywhere. You know what I mean? I hadn't actually done anything. So, and it comes the same with video editing as well. Sometimes I sit there, I'm going to edit for 2 hours. I have it done by 2 hours. If it's not done by 2 hours, you're not going to stand there and be like, actually, I'm done in it. Like my time's up. You keep going. And I feel like that's where my problem with a lot of stuff I'm trying to learn, it takes up a lot more time than I would even think it would.
Yeah, but then that's when you can be like flexible in your calendar because you can then go like Woozy said, he didn't do all of the things he wanted to do on Sunday because he had other shit to do or he needed to give himself time to do other shit, and it frustrated him. But at the end of the day, that's where it was, and you have to accept it. So if you like, I do the same thing though. I set timelines when I'm editing where I'm like, if I don't start the thumbnail at 5 p.m, I won't have the video out when I want to have it out. And most of the time, I don't start the thumbnail at 5 p.m. So like it really depends on the day. You just have to be able to go, okay, I have a goal, and if I don't reach it, I'm going to be realistic and figure out the rest of my day from that.
Let me also say this. I feel like your ideology about routines isn't wrong, but I feel like you got to understand the reason for a routine is not for when you're on top of your game. The reason for routine is when you're off your game. Because like I say, if you have a route, like obviously if you're on top of everything, the routine is gonna feel fucking like it's nothing. It's like, bro, I'm already doing this. Or I get a routine turns into a habit. That's why you start a routine, right?
Certain things,
so it's like
I don't think you can actually follow a routine. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's like, so you can get to the point where like it's gonna be that point where it's like, I don't want to go to the gym right now, but it's part of my routine. So it's like I if you start doing it, you're gonna just go because you're like, okay, this is what I do. The same thing with your editing. Like, yeah, you might have you have to troubleshoot it, so you might not use the whole hour, but it's the fact of sitting down at that time and starting. It's better than you be like, I'm not gonna do anything because I ain't got shit to do. Like that's different. Now you're throwing everything out. Now the next thing you probably do after that, you're probably throwing a fucking rock into that too.
That's what I'm saying with the routine. Like, okay, fair enough. It helps me if I'm off my game, puts me back in. But at the same time, I find it hard. Genuinely, right now, I'm finding it hard to set particular goals or do particular things within a day because I don't necessarily know how long one process is going to take.
Well, just start the process and see what
And
happens.
that's the thing.
But that's
the
what I'm
thing,
saying.
the
Okay,
thing
say
too
I
now.
start
The thing
and I
too is
realize
now.
fun.
So what you said is, it's not. Don't focus too much. Now you're focused. I feel like don't focus so much on the time. Then
That's what I'm
I know
saying.
a lot of
It's not always about the time. I'm
Yeah.
saying I'm going to do an hour of this. And I don't think that's always achievable. Because each time you're learning something, say you're learning in school, you want to learn something. That's the whole point. But if you're doing something for an hour and you may not have learned something, then it's like, what was the hour actually used for? It's like not working hard, like working smart. Hard would say more hours. Smart would be getting some stuff done. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I feel too is I don't when I guess I think it's I think it's different for me because you guys sound like you have a timeline, like a start and a finish. I just have a start. I don't have a finish. So if I had to start, I start editing videos at X time, but I don't have an end time.
But don't you have anything set after that?
I have something set out of it, but it's like a good gap.
Oh,
And
okay,
even like so it's not like I have something at 5 and I got something at 6. It's like 5 and then like 7.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it depends, like, as well what you're doing. Like, mine are more set out because I want to edit on the day I upload because I want to do other shit on the other days. So, and then I only set a timeline because I'm like, I just want to make sure I'm productive. And
Every
so
day.
if I sit there and I go, okay, I'm gonna have a video out at 7 p.m. UK time, it means I need to start the thumbnail at 5, so then it has time to export and all that bullshit. It just means that I then wake up in the morning knowing that I want to have a thumbnail started at 5 p.m. So then I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, it's 11. I need to start the video.
It's like
Just
priming
to
your day.
get the juices going. And if it means that I'm later or whatever, I don't care. And quite honestly, anyone who watches me doesn't care because you're gonna get the video either way. Like,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
if you get it at 9, you get it at 8, whatever. Like, the one thing that I don't change is the stream times, or I try not to. And that's because I
different.
like my stream times at a particular time. If I have to move an editing session because I'm streaming at a different time, then that's what I'll do.
Yeah, but also I feel like with video editing, in a sense, different because you edit the video and you release it. It's done. You know what I mean? Whereas I know you're technically learning doing this skill, but I'm talking in general, learning a whole skill. There isn't really.
Well, can we be honest?
Go on.
I feel like you've already learned the skill.
Nah.
You sound like you know what you're doing.
Nah, I don't. That's the point.
I mean, no one. I'm not saying you know 100%, but I mean, like you have an idea. You have a good idea, right?
I have an idea, but it's not enough for me to implement it and learn with that time frame in it. So after this, I'm going to
just give yourself a day.
Now, that's my next question before we go into the next thing. Do you man always believe you have to do something every single day, or do you think you can chunk it? You can spend a good amount of time on one day, do something else the next day,
Yeah,
a good amount of time. Because say like creative writing and all that, a lot of people can't do it all the time. So what are you guys thoughts? Because I was thinking instead of rather cramming everything trying to do one day.
Yeah, I was going to say it
because of
depends
my
on your
coding.
motivation and what you've got going down. Because if you're
I was gonna
in
say
in
go
a
on.
situation where you can switch what you're doing and stuff, then go for it. Like if I can sit there and I don't feel creative one day and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do something else today. As long as you have like a kind of like filler, I feel like that's more productive than anything else. And realizing yourself where you are in your headspace, I think that's productive personally, and I think that's a good way to spend your time.
So I feel like it depends on what it is. I feel like because I have different with video editing and my Instagram edits that I do all those on Saturday, Sunday. So it's only 2-day block for all that shit. But first, like as far as like I'm trying to learn how to become a DJ, like not learning how to become a DJ, to learn how to DJ, I gotta do that an hour a day because that's a different. I feel like it depends on what it is. So like if, like you said, if it works better for you to sit there and take a day and learn it, and you'll that will like mold inside your brain. That makes sense. I guess for like someone DJ, like since it has to be a little bit more like back of your head, like you're not supposed to think about it. I try to do that every day. Same thing with like public speaking. Like I have to do that like I did public speaking once a week because I don't need to do public speaking every day. That would make no sense. But once a week, every Tuesday, I would go to a public speaking class and do that because it's one of those things where you can just do it once a week and you're good.
I feel like we need to differentiate because from what I've heard, I think we're confusing learning a whole new skill and trying to do something whilst learning a skill. I put that badly, but say for example, video editing. We have not sat down and said, you know what, out of the blue, I want to learn video editing. We're doing it because we want to release a video. So we have to, in a sense, you know what I mean? I think that's different to just saying,
learning it, right?
But that's not your primary focus. That's not your primary focus. You're learning it because you have to do it.
Focus.
Pardon?
That is my primary focus.
No, your primary focus is getting
trying new editing styles every time I.
No, what I'm trying to say is, say for me, I release videos every week. What I want to do, the reason why I'm even doing video editing is to release them videos. Whereas compared to coding, I wanted to actually learn that. My primary focus was to learn it. Like you said,
what did you say before that? You say you were learning the coding to put a YouTube API on a website.
Yeah, that's the part I was learning.
That's what you're coding for.
That's the part I was learning at that particular part.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, but what I'm trying to say is, if I didn't have to code my YouTube videos, I wouldn't. Like you said, most YouTubers pay for it. You even said once you get to a point, you're going to pay for it. So I'm only doing this now because I have to, in a sense, like I want to release videos. So if I have to release videos, I have to know how to edit. So I'm learning it, yes, but it's not my primary focus. If anyone tells me anything, learning coding is my primary focus. It's not for one specific outcome. It's the whole, like, trying to get that whole skill in general. Whereas learning video editing is for one specific outcome. It's just to put that video out. And I think that's completely different. That is completely different. Same with Photoshop. I'm only using Photoshop for my thumbnails. I can
respect why you feel like it's different. It is different, but at the end of the day, I guess it's still a skill. It's not something. I mean, you still gotta learn. Like I said, I have to learn a lot of shit just to edit a video.
Same.
And I have a big ass journal where I learned everything before I edited my first video. I just now apply that thing. Just like you said, you learn coding and then you're applying it to your website. That's why I say it's the same thing. I'm just no longer at the point where I'm sitting down learning the shit that I already know.
But yeah, exactly. But with the coding as well, it's not necessarily just for this website. It's just in general. I want to be able to learn how to do that.
Yeah, it's the same as learning video editing.
But no, it's different. Well, for me anyway, it's very different. I'm not doing it because I genuinely want to know. I'm doing it because I've started a YouTube channel and I need to edit some videos.
Okay, so then there's different motivations behind it.
That's what I'm trying to say. Learning
what's the point of coding then?
That's what I'm trying to say. Different skills and different stuff you're doing have different motivations. So I don't think they can be classified in the same way.
That's what I'm asking. But I'm asking you, what is your reasoning for learning how to code? Is it not to code?
It's to code, yeah, but coding is not specific.
But making YouTube videos.
But coding is still coding, right?
Coding is coding, but it's so wide. And making YouTube videos very kind of specific. It's much more specific than coding.
Because video editing can make YouTube videos. You could be, like you said, cinematography.
Okay, so I'm doing it for make YouTube videos. Not for cinematography, nothing like that. It's just
not to mention the ideologies behind the video editing, like composition stuff like that, comes from photography. So you gotta learn a little bit of photography to then apply that to composition and things like that. So,
but that's what I'm trying to say. Like,
yeah.
If you making videos and all of that, you pay someone to do it. I'm not gonna turn around and pay someone to make a website for me. I want to know how to do that myself with video editing.
If you get to, I'm like I say, I guess I feel like you gotta give context to that situation. I said if I get to the point where I can making a lot of content, I would pay someone to make the content, to pay somebody to edit the content that I make. I'm pretty sure if you get to a point where you need a website made, are you really gonna take the time to sit there and make a website when you can just pay someone to make the website? If it's more time, if the goal of the website is.
That's the skill I want to learn. I want to be able to do it. I want to be the person that can do that. I want to say if I've got an idea, I want to make that website.
That's
It's
what I'm
like
saying. But at
that
the point where if
application.
you're a millionaire, you're gonna sit there and take the time, like, okay, I'm gonna make a website, guys.
But when you're a
to-
millionaire, it's different. I probably
to-
wouldn't take the time to do anything.
and that's what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna be a millionaire, but if I'm at the point where I'm getting traction as far as far as like
The
content
motivations are
creation,
different. Motivations are completely different.
I guess you feel that way.
Not-
I mean, I feel like the motivations are the same.
Not on.
I
it's
kind of like I
learning
kinda
a
feel
skill.
the same as Louis.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But learning a skill, you can have different motivations for learning a skill. I think that's very normal.
I know. I'm not saying about them. Obviously the motivations are different, but I'm saying I feel like. I mean, I'm not telling. There's no disrespect. I feel like you're demeaning the skill of video editing to coding.
I'm not.
You
I'm
just,
not. In my eyes, for my
saying,
motivations, coding is my primary focus on a skill that I have literally just chosen to learn. Video editing is a side effect of me wanting to release videos. They're both brilliant skills, and I'm grateful I can learn both of them. But my motivations for doing each different one are completely different.
Isn't
But I'm
like
saying-
coding the idea that you can make a website or you can code?
I can.
That's what
but
I'm
my
understanding.
YouTube videos, I'm not doing the editing so I can do it. I'm doing it because I want to literally release a video, so I have to make this video. I have to learn how to
then
video
it's
edit.
said that you just said you say you learning coding so you can pump out a website when you want to.
It's not necessarily a website. There's so many other things coding can offer than a website. It's so
You
that's
can
what I'm saying.
make
It's
an
so
app,
broad.
you can
So
make
many
a-
things
you
like
can make
doing a
an
YouTube
art
video.
And
let
I
you
want to
do-
literally, the roles I'm applying for are to do with coding. It's completely
So let
different
me-
thing. If I wasn't making YouTube videos, I wouldn't be learning video editing.
So that's what I'm saying. Do you feel like editing videos is strictly to make YouTube videos?
Right now, yeah, that's literally why I'm learning. I don't use video editing for anything else other to make YouTube
But that's
videos.
you.
That's what I'm saying. So, saying me, people have different motivations. I'm a clear
Like,
testament to that.
I don't think you understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying you. I'm saying like the reason why I learned video editing is the same reason why you learn coding, to apply it.
Same.
Maybe so.
Because at the end of the day, when I'm trying to build a photography career right now, guess what they want you to do? They want a video of the event. That's not a YouTube video that's going to anybody. That's a video I have to edit, make it look nice so they can
But
show it to their friends.
my
Like, look at the
original
party.
point wasn't to say yours is different. I'm saying I feel mine was. I think it can be different, and mine is different. If I stop
No, that's
YouTube,
100%.
I'm not doing video editing. Simple as.
And I think on
That's
what
no,
Mo
you're right
says-
on that.
What Mo says about the skill of editing is more limited than coding. I think it just depends what you're editing.
No,
Like,
it
no,
is
it's
limited.
it's much niche.
It is limited. but
limited.
I mean in terms of like if you were editing a fucking animation,
No, but it's
that's
still more
completely different.
fair enough. But it's still limited compared to what coding can do. Bro, the software you're using to edit is technically coding.
No, yeah,
Coding
yeah,
is
I know that.
ridiculous.
I can't lie to you. Yeah? Just for personal preference, I'm not the least bit interested in coding, and I know a lot of people are like, it's one of the best skills you can have. I have no doubt about that, and I'm like, cool. If that's your motivation, then crack on. Like, and I agree with you. It depends what your motivation is, and the level of applicability or the skill about what you can do with it, in my opinion, makes no difference. So if you can do more with coding than I can with video editing, but your motivation behind coding is to learn how to code, basically, and mine is to learn how to edit videos for things that I want to do, whatever it might be, whether it be it YouTube, be it photography, whatever. The motivation is the motivation. I don't care if you can do more with it. It's
No,
still the
it's
same
not about whether you can do
motivation.
more in it. I was just trying to
But
explain like the difference,
and
why mine were
I
different.
guess my thing was to clarify was I'm not trying to say. I guess my thing was this. I understand. I was saying like this. You were believing the idea that, like, I understand this because you said your idea for coding is different than your idea for video editing. I was just trying to say your ideology for coding is my ideology for video editing. That makes any sense.
Yeah,
That's all I was
yeah.
trying to explain.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fine.
that makes sense.
What I was basically saying was when I was hearing you man speak, like to me, they were like for me particularly, learning coding and video were like two different motivations in it. So when I was talking about doing coding for the whole day or something like that, and wanting to do other stuff, to me the way you lot were speaking, I just wanted to let you know like I don't see it like that in it. Like
Yeah.
if someone said to me right now, I'll make your videos for free, I'll be like, yeah, cool. If someone said I'll make you any website you want, I'll be like, yeah, cool, but I want to learn to do how to do it as well. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say that for video editing.
I remember we talked about it before. That's why I said the only reason I learned how to video edit is because when I get to the point where someone is video editing for me, I want to know what's going on.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like, and it's the same thing with me. I would want if I had a video editor who could edit better than me, I'd want them to teach me what the fuck they're doing because it's cool. Just out of interest more than anything else. Just so I could turn around and do it.
That's the thing, but
'Cause,
like,
like-
I wouldn't put the same effort in as coding. That's just me.
No,
innit?
but that's fair. That's just different
Yeah,
motivation. That's
yeah.
completely fair.
That's what they're trying to explain is like your ideology for coding is our ideology for creative editing. Because like Casey Neistat is like one of my inspirations. So that to me, like you can't make no shit for me like that. I fucking love Casey Neistat. Like he does simple edits and stuff like that, but it's the fact his storytelling in his edits, I'm like, fuck, bro, I don't even know. Like I don't even know how he does that shit. Honestly, that shit's crazy.
Oh yeah, by the way, Dan, I
JavaScript
might
and
need
all
you to
that.
make a website for me. Well, not for me, for Declan.
See what I can do, bro. We can talk.
Just a side
Moses
project.
said,
innit?
"Never say you won't be a millionaire, bro. You don't limit yourself." Oh, I'm not. No, I'm saying it when I get to the point of when I stop making video edits, doesn't mean I'm gonna be a millionaire.
Facts.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Wait,
I
wait.
mean, yeah.
We've got a question from Food Paradise.
Can I
Stumbled across
quickly-
the
sorry,
stream.
one sec,
What's
I
the
wanna-
mission for the podcast?
I want to reference it because you probably said something ages ago. Web development, so HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Right now I'm doing like React and like Next.js. They're the main things. Sorry, go on. You probably said that
Fair.
ages ago, sorry.
Yeah,
What's
no,
the
let's
mission
come,
for the
come.
podcast?
What's the mission for the podcast? I think to be fair,
You know,
World domination.
what's so many?
pretty much. I mean, we just trying to take over Twitter, bro. Just kidding.
I think it's
I'd
to
say-
offer different perspectives, you know, talk about stuff, educate people and stuff they may not have heard before, give them a different way to think about stuff.
I think the main thing is that we're three people who are the same age with very different backgrounds, very different ideologies on things, and very challenging perspectives because we're not scared to challenge each other on our different viewpoints. So
Mhm.
if you've ever tuned into the streams before, you'll know that we're not scared to tell each other when we think we're wrong or when we think we're right. And
Yeah.
then openly discuss those points. And that also includes the chat. So if the chat gets involved and we're having a discussion on whatever, then that's what happens. But he said, that's what you do, but why do you do it? Why do we do it? To give
I mean,
perspective.
yes, that the why is to. I feel like, and I'll say this. I feel like a lot of people don't have a lot of perspective or context to what they're saying. So I feel like everybody's caught up in their own world in their head. So I feel like, especially with this one specifically across the pond, I'm from America, and my two homeboys right here, they're from the UK. So it's about like colliding those perspectives and like molding a new, I guess, kind of like molding a new perspective out of that. I feel like that's the mission, is to also encourage other people to do the same, to be like, okay, I might not be the same as the person next to me, but we can springboard ideas off of each other and have a conversation and then mold a new idea from that conversation. I feel like every time we have a podcast, I mean, me personally, I feel that way. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but, and I hope the chat feels the same.
Facts. Moving on.
Facts, no printer.
If you like what we said, Food, come back. Join the chat. We're here Tuesday at
Go for
4
another
p.m.
10
UK
minutes.
time.
Ryan's got to go very soon.
Yeah, I've got to go
So
in 10. Oh, we could do 20. I could do 20.
You want to talk about the last one? Cause that kind of fits what we're talking about. Low key. I can segue it.
Go on, segue,
Go on.
So we're talking about learning. Right? So I talked about Casey Neistat for like a brief second, but the reason I want to bring this up is I want to talk about the idea of copying versus emulation. So like obviously copying is pretty much like on a computer, Control V, paste, copy and paste. That's the thing. You just basically take work plagiarism, take straight what they have and literally put the same thing. That's copying. I feel like emulation is seeing something, what they call it, seeing something, putting your spin on it and going forward with that. But I feel like it should only be used in a way of learning something.
Yeah.
So like example,
Emulation. Which one should only be used in a way of learning?
Emulation.
I
mean, you can copy too, but copy is a little bit dangerous because obviously copying is blatantly taking someone's idea and calling your own.
I have a good example of when I've done my own thing on that,
Mm-hmm.
where I made the Star Wars intro for one of my videos, and you could say I copied the Star Wars intro, or did I create my own version of the Star Wars intro?
You definitely did create your own version, right?
So I copied the way to do it, but I then changed it to be for the purposes that I have. But I did copy, like it is literally like I went on Adobe. I had a guy who was doing it on Adobe and just did the exact same thing and then switched up a little bit.
I guess that's when you get to that gray area of like a reference, right? It's like a callback. You know what I'm doing because you're playing Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's like a reference versus like it's not like you're saying
Yeah.
like I made this up. This is my like no one's ever done this before, and a lot of people act like no, this is my idea. It's like
yeah. Like I even caveat it by saying this is my version of a Star Wars episode. Like I created my own Star Wars episode. You could spin it however you wanted.
Yeah. I guess it's still copying. Yeah.
I want to ask you, Uzi.
Yeah.
Damn, I've just lost my trail of thought again. Okay, there we go. I got it. You know how you said you look at successful people and you see what they do? Would you classify that as copying or emulating them? Because I read a few times, if someone successful has done something you want, just copy them. They've done it.
I copy them and then I apply it to how my life will work, if that makes any sense. So waking up at 4:00 in the morning sounds cool. And I've tried it. I tried a whole month waking up at 4:00 in the morning. And guess what I found out? You have to go to bed so goddamn early. It don't make no sense. So it's like I copy that, and then obviously then you put your own spin on it. Okay, now I'm gonna wake up at 6:00 in the morning because I can go to sleep at 10:00, 11:00, and wake up at 6:00 faithfully. Versus waking up at 4:00 in the morning. Like, don't get me wrong, 4:00. I see the advantage of waking up at 4:00 in the morning because you could get so much shit done between the hours of 4 and 6. But you have to go to bed at like 8 or some stupid. Like, bro, I can't even stream after work because like, all right, y'all, gotta go to bed now. And like I said, I'm dating. You know, it's like, what do you mean you're going to bed right now? Like, what the fuck? Like, so.
Yeah. If you're doing that while you're dating, that's dangerous, bro. That's dangerous. You know
what?
I sleep in the morning.
I actually had the same thing. So on the weekends, my girlfriend likes to stay up late. So if it's like a Friday or a Saturday, she likes to stay up till like 3 a.m. But when I was working, bruv, I was fucking done. Like, I was done. It was like 11:30, 12. I was like, I am asleep. There's no 1, 2, 3 a.m. here. I'm dead.
Yeah.
And then it gets in the morning. It'd be like 9:30. I'm wide awake.
Yeah.
And she's like, I want to lie in. And I'm like, okay, so I don't know what we're gonna do here. We're gonna lie here.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I think you eventually find a process where it's like, yeah, we both stay up later. We both wake up later. But like, I can appreciate that. You have to change it sometimes.
I feel like that's why I said like when we talk about copying, like I feel like you gotta always reference, because like even when I'm doing something, I always wait. What happened? You got something to go?
Oh no,
Always
he's talking to his
like,
mum.
Yeah,
he loves his mum.
I like even like I mean I think you guys, if you guys are pay attention to me, I always reference back to something when I speak idea that's not my own. I'm like, oh yeah, like from this book or from this person or something like that. Like I guess in that sense it is copying, but as long as you reference that person is good. But I'm talking about like copying as far as like taking the whole, like that's like me, like let me think of an example. Trying to think of a good example. That's like me seeing fucking Dr. Disrespect and I dead ass put a fucking wig on and a mustache and I play Call of Duty with the red jacket and shit like that. Talking about I'm Dr. Wu Respect. And like this is my idea. It's like, no, bro, we know where you got that from.
But could you say that is a form of emulation? Because you're not going to be exactly the same as him. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and I'm just saying this as like to throw a spanner in the works. Because there's a difference, right? When something is produced and it is in writing either, or it's something visual that is created, you can literally copy paste. Whilst if it's someone's personality, or if it's something that is still visual but has a representation that you can enhance, then you can emulate it to an extent. Or you could copy it and just put your own swing on it. So there's kind of like fine lines.
Have you
I'm gonna
seen?
keep it honest. I'm gonna be a bitch about this. I feel like if I see somebody wearing a wig and a mustache playing only Call of Duty, trying in any way to act like disrespect, you lose all respect for me.
That's copy.
Yeah.
Straight.
Because then then it becomes a point of unoriginality. But then, for example, if you're creating a YouTube video and you use the music as the same thing that you're emulating, does that make you lose respect for that person too? Or do you think that they're just putting their creative spin on it?
If it's like a quick reference, nah. But if it's like, if you like dead ass, like granted, like so there's a dude, what's his name? Matt Diavella. Matt Diavella is a cinematographer.
Yeah.
Blah blah. There's a dude who got popular because he made one video out of his whole catalog that emulated the style of Matt Diavella. So that's a reference, and like everybody knew the exact, because he makes blatant references, like exactly how he lived his life. I have one spoon, one fork, one plate, like shit like that, like minimalist things, and that's all a different, like a callback to him. But all his other videos are different. So like if like all your videos literally follow the same formula as someone else's, I can't have respect for you, bro. Because like,
yeah, can I just hit on the fact that Opons just said Dr. Respect? As like your emulation. I appreciate that.
I can't even lie. I read that, but my mouse was above the doctor, so he just said respect.
I read it the exact same. I did the exact same.
Yeah.
I read it and I was like, oh, Opons has just said like Dr. Disrespect again, like just to like say it. And then I literally sat there whilst Weezy was talking. I was reading it and I had to read it again and again to just be like, oh,
I didn't see the doctor part at all. I just saw respect. I thought he was talking to someone else in the chat because my mouse was over the doctor part, so I didn't see nothing. What I was gonna say quickly.
That's hot.
Have you seen that guy in Russia who literally copies Mr. Beast? Well, I'm gonna say the word copying it, but you man can decide. But his thumbnails are literally, he takes Mr. Beast's thumbnails and photoshops him on it, and he is probably, I think he's the biggest in Russia from doing that. Literally the exact same thumbnails, apart from his face on there.
What
we see that a lot of Chinese companies.
I think his videos are exactly the same. They're named exactly the same, but he just does it. He's just He's Russian.
Can we be honest about this too?
And he's big.
Go on.
I mean, the thing, I'm not saying it doesn't work. I guess I'm talking about more respect level. I mean, you can copy blatantly, like he said, he's blatantly copying Mr. Beast and it works. But you see people, everybody's copying, what's his name? What was that fucking dude who's like, I'm not happy about this Lamborghini. I'm happy about this wall of this bookshelf I just fucking put up. What was that fucking guy's name?
Ty Lopez.
People have fucking blatantly copied Ty Lopez, and it works. I don't know how.
See, this is a thing as well, though. Like, so we're talking more about YouTube here. Everyone copies something on YouTube. It's
nothing original.
But when you are original, you either pop off or no one cares. There's no difference between the two, and it's come to a point now where everyone's creating the same content over and over and over again. And like,
I have.
This is what it is. It's creating content over and over and over and over and over again, and then eventually one will hit because you've done something different or you've caught the attention of someone else or whatever the fuck it might be. But that is what YouTube content recreation is. That's a lot of what ideas are. Is you take the concept of someone else, you bring it in, and you emulate it or copy it to then see what you can change about it and make it better.
And that's what I was gonna say right there. I think I was gonna say that's what I was gonna say. Literally, you hit it right on the head. Is like, especially when it comes to being creative, you have to copy someone's idea, and then you have to copy it because you have to learn it. There's no way you're gonna know it unless you do it. So once you do it, you're like, okay, this is the process. Now I'm gonna put who I am. Like, obviously, memes is fucking DJax to the, like, if I think memes is DJax to the top fucking tier. But the idea of memes, I used it for a little bit. I was like, I don't really fucking like memes because one, it's already DJax thing, but I'm like, I don't fucking really give a fuck about memes. So sounds is my thing. It's literally the same concept. I just like, okay, I like sounds because I like fucking dumb ass fucking phrases and quotes.
Yeah. But like, I think it's
like,
more about like your personality on it.
Yeah. But I'm saying I started from copying. I blatantly used to have memes in my thing, and I asked him like, yeah, I mean, I want to do memes, bro. Like, teach me to do memes. He taught me how to do memes. I did memes. I was like, I don't like memes. I don't think I like memes. I don't think I like looking for memes. But it's like, but I do like hella fucking funny ass audio clips. So let me just apply the same thing that you would do for memes, but for audio clips.
I feel like creativity, for me, how I saw it, was one form of creativity is literally not copying, but have something you know, and like Ryan said, you put your own spin in it, or you mix it with another idea. That's what they say in business, really and truly. You just take something and you just expand upon it, make better. So I feel, like copying, it depends what you're trying to do, because if someone says copy this business exactly how it is, and you're gonna come out and get 10,000 a month, I don't give a shit whether you respect me or not. I'm copying that shit. I'll copy that to a T. You know what I mean? So
that's the thing. Like Opant. Okay, so I don't know if you guys are aware of like how Chinese gaming markets work. I don't know. I'm not gonna misquote nothing, but a lot of their games are blatant ripoffs of a lot of games. Like the Overwatch clone is dead ass. It's so funny. It's like dead ass Overwatch, but with just like color, like they changed the color scheme of the characters, bro. Like I'm not even shitting you.
Like Junkrat might be garbage mouse or something.
Like no, for real. And like a different color. Like they have I think they have Reaper or something like that, and he's like a shade brighter or some stupid, but has the same abilities and everything.
See, like it really. So that's more of like that's more of a governmental point, really, isn't it? So you're like, you can kind of like it's like Google, I'm sure, will have its own version in China, like of the same thing. It'll do the exact same thing. Like you know what I mean? Like that's a completely wild point, but yeah, it's fair. Like those things exist. It's the same as like if you go to, so in the UK we have like Lidl, which is basically like a shit version of Walmart or whatever, and they will have own brand things, and the own brand is exactly the same thing, only has like a twist. Like
bro, have you seen that?
Like,
Ryan, have you seen the videos of recent that come back a couple weeks ago where he was shopping in Aldi or Lidl and he was saying all the brands? He goes in the shop here. He goes, have you got some Dr. Pepper? And then he plays like the assistant. He's like, nah, but we got some Nurse Salt. I'm just like,
no, exactly. but like, I shit you not though. I do need to put some respect on Lidl and Aldi, right? They are decent shops. I think when you genuinely like take it on the chin, like they'll have like frosted flakes, fam. Frosted flakes, bro.
Ryan, my man goes, you got 7 Up.
Of frost.
He goes, you got 7 Up.
I shit you not. Like we have what are they called? Frosties. And they'll like Frosties have like a tiger as it's called Tony the Tiger, yeah. And I mean, I shit you not. They'll have their own brand thing, which will have a tiger, and it will be like Frostios.
Trevor.
And you're like,
bro,
it's the exact same thing.
My man went to the shop. He's like, you got some 7 Up? He's like, nah, but we got some 14 down. Bro, I need to send you that. It is hilarious.
I've seen that.
That's actually jokes. I mean, I'm not, like I said, when it comes to business, I understand in business, you got to you tell me is a winning formula, I'm gonna copy it. I just feel like just gotta remember that difference. Like, I guess I just wanted to talk about how do you guys feel about it? Because like I said, obviously on a business level, it's dog eat dog world. I'm trying to, because Walmart, Amazon is just, I guess if you think about it, yeah, Amazon has the same formula as Walmart. We're just gonna be hella cheaper than everybody else.
Yeah.
Like that's literally what Walmart was, but on a brick and mortar. I'm just gonna be
100%.
Even if it's 1 penny cheaper, I'm gonna be cheaper than everybody else.
Yeah, like okay, so my opinion on it is you have to copy something and then develop it. So any great idea comes from copying something. It's the same as like creating the wheel, right? Something as simple as that. People found a problem, and then people were trying to create solutions. And I can guarantee you that the wheel wasn't the first solution. There would have been other solutions before that. And the person who created the wheel would have taken ideas and decided what worked and copied them and then changed it a little bit to the point where they got what they wanted. Even if it's just a structural design of it. Because I remember before it used to be like an oval and people were like, that doesn't work, so we're going to make it a circle. Just simple shit makes a huge difference to making something work. So
just like remember cars were square. and then they went
Yeah,
hella like oblong, and then they went, but they got boxy again, and they're like, well, we're gonna smooth it out again
and
because
and
aerodynamic.
it's a process of finding different plans and pulling them all together to make them better, basically.
Yeah.
And you have to copy an idea to then develop it. So, like, even Mr. Beast videos, the one that went viral was giving money to homeless people. Like,
That's not his original
like,
idea though.
or even like counting to 100,000. Yeah, like basic shit that anyone could do. He's obviously seen someone do that before and just gone, well, they counted to 10,000. I'm going to count to 100,000. And then people liked his character, etc., and that pulled him through. But that's the point, right? Is he's not a revolutionary in that sense. The point is he can do a scale which is completely different, and that's what makes him different. Is the scale is huge, and he's using the money in a different way. Everyone gets money through sponsors, etc., and they normally keep them, whilst he just invests the money.
I wanted to that idea. I wanted to reference Opance because Opance said right there. You ever seen a video called "Everything is a Remix"? I haven't seen the video, but I do understand the concept that there's what 8 billion people in the world right now. How many people are in the world right now?
Something like that, yeah.
Like 8 billion, 7 billion or something like that. And not to mention all the people who have died before you. Anything you have said or done has been done before. Like literally, I mean, pretty much. I mean, granted, it's like there's new ideas that come together, but at the end of the day, for the most part, anything you have said, done, or thought of has been thought of, did before. So like you gotta understand, nothing is original anymore. We're fucking dead, but you can always put your own personal spin on it, like you say, your own personal flair.
See, Mr. Beast, one of the reasons why he was so successful was he actually combined a lot of existing YouTube categories sort of that were popping anyway. So stuff like money related. Most of these challenges have some money. Challenge. Most of these stuff are challenges. There was a few other, but I can't remember. He just managed to somehow put all of them together.
Or like having a timeline as well.
Having
like
a time,
day
yeah.
challenge, like basically saying like 24 hours or 10
challenges,
hours.
money related, with a load of people in there and stuff. I can't remember the exact categories, but that was one of the things for his success.
Have you guys seen the whatchamacallit? Have you guys ever seen the because we're about to end it here. I just want to ask you guys, have you guys seen the what's that movie called? What's in the movie? You guys ever seen those do you guys have Costco's out there?
Yeah.
Okay, so have you seen that video where it's like I'm gonna sleep inside of a Costco for 24 hours?
Who's that? Mr. Beast one?
It wasn't Mr. Beast, it was Sam Pepper.
Yeah, they're basically just like camping at Costco.
Bro, they would hide inside the dumbest places, bro.
We had the same. So Calix, who's friends with the Sidemen, he was like, I stayed in the Sidemen house for 24 hours and no one noticed. Like, and it's really, really basic ideas that have been taken from other people just to spin on them. That's
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like 100 people, a bunch of people start doing the same thing, and let's talk about TikTok for like 2 seconds. TikTok is literally copying everybody. It's literally everybody using the exact same sound, just putting their own personal, I guess,
flair
spin on, home flair on it, and it works. It works like really well. But a lot of creatives hate it because it's like, I make a skit from off the dome. You guys are fucking just seeing the sound and like, I'm gonna put a fucking wig on for each part and be a little bit more goofy than the last person is like. I mean, they got a point, but like, goddamn, bro, it works. I don't know what to tell you, bro. It works. Whatever gets you in the door.
Every time it works as well.
I think that's something we can end it on. You should always copy and get your foot in the door, but you always got to become original at one point.
You got to spin it.
I'll give you, man, a quick question. Yeah. To end it all off. To do with streaming. If you could copy a streamer, like copy, but you would be successful, you do it. Rather than if you do your own thing, you're not going to be as successful. You might get a little somewhere, but you're not going to be.
I had to do it for the rest of my streaming career?
Like, wherever you want to be, you have to do it for the rest of your streaming career. You have to copy someone else, but you're going to be successful. Whereas if you stick to yourself, you're going to see some success, but not near what you probably envisioned yourself. Which one you taking? You want to be Dr.
Honestly,
Respect?
Honestly, I'll take the L, but I will also say this. If I had to pick somebody, I would be Tinder Tap Man because I'd be okay with being Tinder Tap Man.
What about you, Ryan? Would you like to be Nick Merckx?
I don't think I don't think I could copy someone like that. I'm an egotistical, proud motherfucker. So like straight out and out copying someone, I would struggle with. Taking ideas, I'm cool with. I'm fine with that. But like, I don't think like, for example, I couldn't do a Dr. Disrespect, no matter how successful I would be. Bro, the fact that he can get up and like put on an outfit and then act a particular, he's acting for the whole stream. That for me is rough. Like, I know that
is he
sets
really
you
acting?
apart. Do you not? I see this as a question, right? But the point is that like, I don't think I could fuck with that for long enough to keep it going.
So you would say you would just be authentic.
In the short term, I could fuck with it. In the long term, I don't think I could.
There you go, lads. After all of that,
What about
these
you?
man are authentic.
What about you?
Yeah, like Ryan
Like
said,
copying them, fam.
I'm a proud guy. Nah, I love it. I don't know actually. I don't know. I don't know. I'll probably
Sly, with your schedule, fam, it's easy.
for real. I'll probably be authentic, fam. I'll probably be authentic.
Fam.
It depends on what it is, but for streaming, I think I'd always want to be authentic.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think it'd be difficult. I think it would actually be difficult to copy, like for the long run.
You think so?
Even I'm saying this scenario, even if it was possible, like, would you do it? It was possible. Like, you can reach Dr. Disrespect status if you truly desired. You're gonna have to copy.
With you, man.
Bro said he's copying.
I'll be me. But I mean, like I said, if I had to copy anybody, I think Tim the Tapman got to probably like. Okay, I lied. Tim the Tapman or Dr. Lupo. I love Dr. Lupo so much, bro. I would
Lupo's
be so happy.
Cool character. He's a cool character.
That's the thing, to be Lupo or Tim the Tapman, where you're like your chat ain't nothing but fucking jokes, and all your fucking money goes to good causes. I'm cool with that. If I'm gonna be successful too, I can imagine faking being a positive person. I mean, what the fuck?
You know what? Yeah. Just to end on this, I would hate to be a female streamer.
Pokemon got it good.
No, she has got it good, but like, I think I just personally, I think being sexualized 100% of the time would be draining. Because if you're a guy streamer, like, you're calm, innit? A lot of the time.
Jacksepticeye and Markiplier used to get sexualized a lot.
That's fine, but like, I mean, 100% of the time. If you're Pokemon, bro, like, that's tough.
Who?
I think. I can't even say her name. Her.
I don't know. I mean, I think I'd be cool being Valkyrie or Pokemon, man.
Fuck, man.
I know, because I'll probably be
if I was a Linity or something like that, that's a different level. I don't know. I can't be fucking like, you like to post skimpy pictures and like, ooh, they put fucking crazy ass memes.
I think they're crazy, like really great streamers and everything like that. I'm not taking that away from them. I'm just saying I think it would be rough being them for that fact.
Bro, I get sexualized, bro. I don't know. I'm a sex icon.
Like, good man.
Confidence.
Thank you for teaching me English, chat. I appreciate you. I can't. I honestly sometimes.
I thought you said Pokey mayonnaise at first. I said, "Whoa."
You did say that.
I can't speak for shit, fam. You're gonna get used to this. My English is nowhere.
What are you saying now, about what's your answer?
Bella Delphine type shit. Oh lord.
To Uzi's question. Well, my question in the chat. I'll come out.
Yeah, I typed it in because Mo was like, "What was it?"
What are you saying? And then we'll end it on in your answer, and whoever else wants to.
The remix. How do you guys feel about doing the remix before the original comes out?
Huh?
How do you guys feel about the remix coming out before the original comes out?
Possible.
It's not true.
Possible.
If you know who R. Kelly is, the remix came out and the original came out later.
Came out. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Remix came out. Oh wow. Oh wow.
The fact that he even references it's the remix to Ignition.
And the original is garbage.
I've never
Oh,
even
look.
heard the original. I didn't even know there was an
It's
original.
slow. It's a slower version. It's like, bro.
Get out of here.
I
I still have to
friendship.
go to
Alban
the
didn't
version.
answer the question, so they'll have to end it
We'll
there.
end it. We'll end it on that.
Thank you all for tuning
Yeah,
in.
thanks
Thank you all
everyone
for-
who's come through. You guys
You
are
go.
heroes. Sorry, Dans. Do you want to go? You do
No.
it, fam. No, he doesn't want to do it. But yeah, big love to everyone who's come through into the chat, everyone who comes and watches, all that good stuff. You can go check us out on YouTube as well. We'll be posting the one from last week in the next couple of days. And then we'll be posting this one next week as well. So we normally do like a lag of a week. So you guys can catch us there as well. So go make sure you subscribe. Thank you for watching us. I've been Ryan, the legend, Viva Red. We've got man like Woozy, the vibe coordinator, man like Sly with the robe, even though he took his robe off. But yeah, I hope you guys are feeling good. Ryan, the beta fam, I swear down, I will fuck you up.
That is so foul.
But yeah, you guys are legends. I appreciate it. I say shout out to my two co-hosts as well. And yeah, we'll catch you next week.